Okay.
Correct.
Yes. Okay, so the recording is in progress and I think we can get started.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Yes. So once again, we very warmly welcome you into the family of Pink Jaguars Entertainment and to the Royal Kalinga Dynasty. Your Highness Prince Zulu. And we hope that, it's a long-standing relationship. Film and media is one portion of it, but as a royal, there is a lot more that I have seen interfacing with the royals, what you present and bring to the table, and what can be made possible. So, once again, thank you for joining us today.
It's my real pleasure. Thank you so much.
So, I want to take a moment here and talk a little bit about our royal Kalinga dynasty, about His Highness Prince Jagdish Daneti, and the legacy, and a few other aspects as it relates to the royalty.
Yeah.
The Kalinga dynasty is been a royal empire from India, and it is an empire that has been ruling for over 200 years when it was in existence. And the descendants of the Kalinga dynasty have taken on the baton even on the modern world and trying to, do something which is for the greater good, just as how the other royalties around the world are doing. So once again, the roots are from India, and His Highness Prince Jagdish Daneti is the current descendant of this dynasty, taking the baton on for this generation. So every year there is an event that happens in India, and the royal priest. This person actually is in the Himalayas for many months of the year and comes down to the kingdom or to our land pretty much like a few months in a year. And this is a ceremony where Prince is being blessed by the royal priest, and he hands him his royal sword just as a mark for him to remember that even in the modern world, as a royalty, it is his duty to take something that his forefathers have done for many generations and, ensure that there is peace, prosperity that can be done in whatever endeavors that they are taking up. And he's being blessed with a royal necklace, which is a rudraksha, that is a special bead that grows in the Himalayas. And so that's a ceremony that has happened earlier in this year. Just a few pictures to share.
Perfect. I can see.
So today we will talk at length about the film and media business, but I just wanted to bring to your notice what are the other business conglomerate that our prince from the Kalinga dynasty oversees and manages. So we have many diverse businesses that His Highness has been a part of. So from the technology front in 2016 with the royal family of Dubai, we had raised a $200 million fund, which is a joint venture between the Kalinga dynasty as well as the Caliphs of Dubai. And the fund was brought to America, and there were some very new technologies like an augmented reality and virtual reality companies that were started. And two of those companies are working in the film and media space for augmented reality and virtual reality, doing technology for gaming industry as well as for films. And there is one company which is specifically working on virtual reality where surgeons can conduct complex surgeries even though they are not present in person. So that is very high and cutting edge work in the medical as well as in the technological field. So that is our presence in terms of the technology companies. The next piece coming in is healthcare. Prince actually oversees a few companies in India and Southeast Asia, where there is a manufacture of brain stents. So if someone has a clot in the brain, this particular stunt is put to release that clot, just as how they have the stents for the hearts. But this is once again, very high-end technology where we are trying to do cutting-edge work in the healthcare space as well. And a few, slides down, I'll talk a little bit about the Royal Kalinga medical team and how we are actually doing the research to combat corona as well. We'll talk in some more detail about the film and media business today. In addition to that, we are heavily involved in precious metal wholesale and export, where there is a company in Malaysia that we have where we get the raw material like gold and diamonds, and it is cut and polished, and the product is made and exported as wholesalers for around the world. In addition to that, we have real estate and environmental sustainable products. So as a royal, I know that it is a mandate for the family that we want to make the next generation see our world and have a very safe environment to live in. And our real estate environmental sustainable products are designed in a fashion where everyone is living in a concrete jungle these days, yeah, in the cities. So what is it that we can do with these products to ensure that there is more greenery, the water is available, and things along those lines? So these are very specialized environmental sustainable products. We've done a big deployment of this in US, in London, and now going to the next set of countries around the world where there is a big need for such kind of products.
That was very interesting. I love that. Very, very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, so in terms of collaboration, or rather in terms of investment and so forth, how much are we looking at here? Let's try to go straight into the business and try to go straight to the point. How much, like from my side as a prince from the Zulu, and together with my people, how much like should I start counting or looking after? Because as you know, we are starting the new year with a new budget and so forth. So can we try
Definitely.
to talk that?
Yeah, definitely. So if you can just give me like little more, a few more minutes, I will walk you through the film and media, what is in plans for the next year, and what is the investment that we are looking at, and then we can have a conversation around how much we can look towards and what are the avenues that we can work on. So today's presentation that I have, the next few slides are primarily focused on film and media, but I just want to present to you, Your Highness, that if there is any other collaboration from other businesses that you are seeing over here, we can have a separate conversation and definitely look towards expanding and providing actually for your country if there is anything that we can do from our end. So I just want to humbly submit that. And before we go any further, my association with the royal family, my ancestors have been serving the royal family as ministers in the court for many generations now. And for our prince, I have been handed the baton to take this and lead it forward. So, it is something that has been passed down my ancestors, and it's a very rewarding and I would say a very responsible journey that I've had with Prince.
Yeah, great, great.
So this particular piece that we want to talk about, and my apologies for not having Prince here today, but he's trying to work through some aspects. So he's been very actively traveling. So I just wanted to pass on a message from him that he's going to be talking to you very shortly in the new year, and I will work towards arranging a conversation specifically so both of you can meet and exchange ideas and see what is good for your kingdom and what else that can be brought to the table. But this particular endeavor, as a royal prince yourself, you understand that your ancestors have passed on certain responsibilities to you. And what we are trying to do is that join hands on a concept which is called as a five principle oath. If you look at these, it's nothing new, but it's something that, every royal family, every world leader wants to be a part of. So through our prince, we are actually inviting all of the royals to join us on the five principle oath, which primarily focuses on global peace, trying to build unity even though there is a lot of diversity in the world, and thereby ensuring that we have economic upliftment, and having a sustainable development for our next generation, and treating the entire world as one family. So once again, this is an invitation from the Royal Kalinga dynasty, and I will ensure that Prince actually speaks to you, and you have a conversation at that front.
Definitely, that is fabulous. Thank you.
Okay, so there is a lot of conversation happening around COVID. Before I go any further, I just wanted to find out how is the situation in your country in as it regards to the whole COVID.
Yeah, so far as we are talking, let me say 2 months backwards, the situation was becoming normal, try to be stable and so forth. But again, after like as we were booming to Christmas town, because as you know, my country is full of beaches, oceans, and so forth. So we were expecting a lot of visitors across the world who were coming for holidays and so forth. So for the past 5, 6 days, the coronavirus has risen to almost 90% so far. And as I'm talking right now, I even left my home. I'm calling you from Zambia, Lusaka, Zambia, where I'm also trying to set up a golden mine and diamond mine, which I am also working hand in hand with the Zambian government. So right now, I'm calling you from Lusaka, Zambia, where I'm trying also to come up with some investment for gold mines and diamond mine, because I was given the diamond mine by the Zambian government through the Ministry of Minerals and Natural Resources. So this is one business which I'm doing right here. So otherwise, talking about the pandemic of coronavirus in my country, it is critically very, very high. And tonight, as we are talking, the president will be announcing the current situation whereby some of the borders will be closed. Some of the international airports also will be closed until due time. So for that reason, I had to leave the country in advance, because where I am, it's a coronavirus free. People are moving around in shopping centers, malls, and so forth. There is no case at all. So it is easy for me like to be here because business-wise, I'll be able to collaborate, to communicate. Even if someone invites me to say, come to this place, I will have no much regulation in terms of traveling, leaving my own country, because here I'm free. I have the citizenship as well for this country, because I've been working with them for the past 6 years and so. So otherwise, my country, it's something else. As we are talking now, we need to do something about that. So Corona is too much in my country. I can't lie on that one.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, and I think the situation is similar across the world. Um, Yeah, so in terms of COVID, as we are in the film and media business, there is a little bit of tie-in around what I'm going to present to you today. And because filming, active filming in terms of making movies has been on a stall, as I would say, for a long time in 2020. And that is because when you have a filming situation, multiple people need to be involved. People have to be present on the set to make the movie. And because of corona and all of the social distancing and other restrictions, it has been a big challenge. In fact, Los Angeles started, then they went into a purple zone, so they canceled everything, and everything went into a standstill, just as how you are describing, as what you are seeing in Africa. But what we are presenting today is that the Royal Kalinga medical team has been doing a lot of research on their front. As you know, Ayurveda is the ancient medicine of India, and there are certain cures in Ayurveda that is not available for modern medicine. Our particular team has come up with a corona cure, which is a two-part medical remedy where we have the herbal extracts through Ayurveda, which is supposed to be a preventative measure for corona or a viral infection. And there is also an allopathic injection, which is a five-part drug, which is given in 5 instances. And the primary thing that we have seen is that there are few individuals within the royal family and within our close networks who have had corona, and this particular medicine has helped cure them within 1 week to 10 days, and they are also using that as a preventative measure. So this is actually just within the royal family and the very close associates right now who has taken this particular drug. And we are working very closely with government of India to see if this can now actually be reaching out to the masses, because we have sent this to all the royal families in India. About 5 lakh individuals, just the royals and the close associates, have taken this drug, and it has worked very successfully for them. So we are working on the other aspects as it relates to this drug. Um, and when it comes to our filming, we are actually giving away this particular drug at a very low cost of about 25,000 Indian rupees, which is the actual cost for making this drug. So we're just giving this away at cost, because we believe that if there is a cure that is available, it has to be made available to everyone given the pandemic situation. Now, how is this going to impact our film business? Is that I would say ours is the only production company which is providing this, because everyone else is waiting for the big pharmaceutical company to come up with a vaccine with the hope that, okay, something is going to get better. But given that we have the Royal Kalinga medical team, we are able to provide this kit that is going to be given to all individuals who come for the filming, and it is a prevention as well as a cure. In addition to all of this, we will be taking precautionary measures like social distancing, face masks, and everything else that the government actually mandates, depending on where we are going to shoot.
Okay, that's great.
So this is a quick preview about the Royal Kalinga dynasty, and I'm going to now move to the film and media business, where we'll talk a little bit about the company, what are a slate of films that have been announced for 2021, what is the overall investment, and what can be some areas that we can actually collaborate on. And before I switch gears, if your country is in need of a corona medicine, and this is something that you are wishing to explore, I would like to have a separate conversation with you on that, and we can, provide some samples and see how it's going to work out and take things forward.
Sure.
Okay, so Pink Jaguars Entertainment, we are a young media and production company that's headquartered in Los Angeles, California. And in the US, we have our second office in New York. That's primarily because New York is the financial hub, and we have a lot of film fund oriented ventures that we do with our film company. That is why we have our two zones. In addition to this, we have our extensive presence around the world with partners in South America, Europe, Dubai, which primarily covers the Middle Eastern area, Southeast Asia, and definitely India, because that is where our prince is from. And I would say that, the experience of all our partners independently put together is over 2 decades in an entertainment industry. And it's just not films, but also, television projects, commercials, So the expertise is, widely available in all forms of film and media that we primarily cover.
Great.
So, what is our philosophy as a film company? I would say that the baseline, the backbone of any creative company is actually a script, a story, or an idea. And we are very happy to say that our company has gone on a 5-year journey where different teams have been sent to different locations around the world, and their only job is to go and talk to the locals over there and gather real life stories. And we have an expansive database of these stories that can be converted into film scripts that is going to be made into films. This is a very unique endeavor because none of the bigger production companies actually have gone through this exercise, but our company has done that. And in addition to this, this is a commercial business. So we have, through our production partners, through our style of execution, and through the presence that we have around the world, we are ensuring that the business is handled in a very unique way where we can ensure maximum profits for our production partners. And you will see a portion of that in our presentation today. Yes, so this is our prince, and we talked a little bit about the royalty. I'm going to spend a couple of minutes here talking about his film journey. Films have been a passion for Prince from a very young age, as I would say, and he has been groomed in the Indian film industry, and he started his career as a writer. He has directed many films and produced a lot of films in India and Southeast Asia. This is about me. My specialization has primarily been in banking financial services in North America, Canada, and actually in multiple zones across the world. And my specific expertise primarily is in the media fund management, where we pool a fund for managing film and media projects, and been doing that for a long time now.
Great.
So this is our team, and these are our partners from around the world. Mr. Johnny Martin, he's actually a Hollywood producer, director, a person who's worked on more than 350 films and media projects, as I would say. So 200 features, a lot of television shows and commercials. And he's a person who has worked with some of the biggest names in the industry, like Keanu Reeves or Nicolas Cage, Al Pacino, you name it, and he's worked with a lot of individuals. So over 40 years in the industry now. He's our partner managing our business in North America and trying to take it to the next level. From South America, specifically Argentina, is Mr. George Piwarski. Mr. George is actually a third generation filmmaker. He is a very good cinematographer, but more than that, he is an excellent producer, because managing the money for a film production, he is extremely good at, and ensuring that our films get developed on time and on budget is what his specialization is. Then I have Ms. Dobele, who is managing our business for Europe and a portion of Eastern Russia. She is from presently in Lithuania, and a very creative director, as I would say. She covers topics that are or social causes, and she's received a lot of critical acclaim from various international film festivals for her films. Managing our operations for United Arab Emirates, as I would say, from Dubai, is Mr. Mansoor Al-Fili. Mr. Mansoor is an actor. He has acted with a lot of big names in Hollywood. His most recent 2019 venture was with Mr. Pierce Brosnan, the James Bond fame person, and he's also an excellent producer. He's done some cutting edge work in terms of film and media business in the Middle East, and he's our partner over there and manages our business for Middle East. So our experience, I would say, just from a Hollywood film perspective, is over 50 films together that we have worked with our partners. And this just is Hollywood and does not include a lot of the world cinema stuff that we have done. So, given this time that we have been in Hollywood, there is a very good relationship that we have with some of the major agencies. What that allows us is that we get an opportunity to get the best cast in the industry and be able to get them at a very optimal price as well. In addition to this, in locations where we do not have our partners, we have some very good relationships with foreign sales agents. These names that you see here are actually the best in the industry, and these are very strong sales agents who have a good network distribution wise for the films in these areas. And one very important thing that I just wanted to bring to your notice is that earlier in the year, in February of 2020, through the government of India and the information and broadcasting minister, for the first time in the history of Hollywood and in the history of Indian government, through our prince, we have established a bilateral film connection. What that means is that Hollywood is a 100-year-old industry, and our country, India, has 75 years of independence. But there is no government, bilateral film tie that has happened between these two countries. So, with the support of Prince and working with both the governments, we were able to establish that, and we are now taking this to the next level, where Prince has spoken to a few other countries in Southeast Asia who also want to join hands for their countries to build this bilateral film tie. And as a company, what we are doing is that this will allow for people who are interested in this film business to come directly into Hollywood and be able to participate. And in addition to that, there is a very unique concept that is a brainchild of our prince. So there are films businesses that exist around the world, but every industry operates independently. So he's now come up with this idea of uniting all of the film industries around the world and calling it a global or a world cinema space. A very unique and a new endeavor that we have embarked on. It will give us an opportunity to interact with the best talents, not just in Hollywood, but around the world. And it can be from your country as well, Prince, and where we can get, if someone's interested in doing films, or you have a great landscape for your country. So if we can work on ensuring that we have the some good aspects where if someone wants to come and film in your country, if there are better tax benefits or other location benefits that we can offer, we can build on that and start to develop other countries where filming can be done. Because we believe that the world is a very beautiful place, and every location offers a lot of amazing aspects for conducting films, just not Hollywood or not just United States. So we want to expand this out to the world and join hands with everyone to make it something called as world cinema.
Great.
So this is a quick highlight of some of the films where we have acted in various capacities, either as a producer, director, or supported crew, or cast, or anything along those lines. These are just Hollywood films.
Great.
The next set of slides, I want to talk a little bit about some of the films that we have announced. I know Ms. Madhu had briefed you about this project. It is called as The Immortal President. It's actually the biopicture of our past Indian president, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam. He is a scientist, as I would say. He's been the past president of India, and more than anything else, he is a youth icon and a leader who has remained immortal in the hearts of the people even after he physically left his presence in this world. So the Hollywood version in English is titled The Immortal President, and we will be making this film in 11 Indian languages and 5 world languages. So that is titled Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam for the Indian version.
Great. Okay.
In terms of his story, he is actually a person who started or who had a very humble beginning, raised from poverty and became the president of the country. A very smart individual who, was schooled in a very small place, but then went to design missile science for the country, not just India, but also came to United States, worked with NASA, and has developed some of the best missile technology that NASA currently uses. So this is his journey, his life story, and we have embarked on a mission which is called as the Mission Kalam, which we had the honor to host you. And that is actually a journey where we have spoken to individuals around the world who have been traveling with Dr. Kalam, has had some experience with Dr. Kalam, and we are taking all of these real life experiences and crafting this beautiful bio picture. I would say that we have actually received a lot of support from the government of India and the government of United States for this particular project. So our an international composer who is of Indian origin, Mr. A.R. Rahman, is making the music for this, and a very strong writer from Hollywood. His name is Mr. Robert Canigal. He is lending, some of the screenplay and such. But this is going to be an international project where we're going to do some filming in India and then a portion of the filming in US. So this particular film is currently budgeted at 10 million US dollars. And once again, we are able to keep this cost low because of the support that we are receiving from both the governments. But we will be having some big stars on both Indian cinema as well as Hollywood be a part of this particular project. Okay, so this next script, Your Highness, actually in Hollywood till date, there has been one script which is called as Deja Vu. It's a Hollywood movie, and the cost of just the storyline is about 5 million US dollars. This particular script that we are talking about, The Hypnotist, actually beats that, and it is at 6 million US dollars, making it the most expensive Hollywood script till date. What is the specialty? The storyline is so gripping. It is now when you see one scene and go to the next scene, you will think something will happen, but something else happens. So it is actually as good as what any James Bond movie is, and also has a lot of suspense, a beautiful romance, and a lot of intriguing aspects about the script. So, from the Hollywood side of the house, we are in conversations with Mr. Pierce Brosnan. He has been the James Bond, and also we have had a very successful conversation with Miss Selena Gomez. She is an internationally acclaimed singer, and she holds I would say, a deal with Disney where her films are actually going to be distributed through Disney. So we are hoping that once we materialize all of the paperwork, we will be in conversations with Disney to get them on board as the distributor for this particular movie. In addition, we will be, launching a very beautiful British model. Her name is Demi Rose, and she's going to be doing the role of Sandra Lewis in the script. So she is a very successful young model who is actually making a lot of news. She's from London and has done some great work in the modeling side of the house in US, and has just bagged a big retail contract with a big retailer in Hollywood. And for one of the roles, we will be introducing a new person or a very fresh face, like how Leonardo DiCaprio was done for the Titanic. Like that, we will be having a new person take on the role.
Okay, yeah.
So the director of this film is going to be Mr. Doug Liman. He has worked with some big names here in Hollywood. He's worked with Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt, and made a movie called as Mr. and Mrs. Smith, which is very popular in this area. And for the first time in the history of Hollywood, we are going to have composer Yanni, who's an international composer who has actually done concerts at the seven wonders of the world. So he's going to be lending the music for this particular movie.
Wow.
So from a project perspective, this is actually budgeted at 35 million. We are talking to people in different parts of the world, so that's why I have the equivalent valuation in British pounds as well as in Indian rupees. But this is actually valued at 35 million, and we are going to be filming this in multiple locations. So the script requires about 3 locations where it has to be filmed.
Okay, good.
Okay, so this next one is actually a crime thriller. It's a very interesting story because there are five actresses. The top five actresses of Hollywood are being showcased in one single screen. As you know, this person, Miss Angelina Jolie, she is an internationally acclaimed actress. And starting from the left, Scarlett Johansson and Sofia Vergara are number one and number two for 2 consecutive years in Hollywood. And Callie and Alan have been in the first 10 for the 2 consecutive years. And sharing the screen space with them is Mr. Robert Downey Jr. He is the guy who's done Iron Man. And the Marvel series. So this is a crime thriller where every 6 months, one very important dignitary around the world is murdered. And what happens, who is conducting those murders, what is the relationship of these five ladies with the murders, and he is actually posted as an investigation officer. And then we are also introducing a new person in this particular script as well for the role. So um, so this one is actually casted at 60 million USD. Please keep in mind that we are still in conversations with the actors, so this is just the filming budgets and does not include the lead actor remunerations that is still being worked on.
Okay.
Okay, so the next set of 3 scripts are actually at a smaller budget where, many independent people have come and said, hey, we want something at a smaller budget where we can work with your company and gain the experience. So the next set of 3 scripts that I will talk to you about are within 5 million US dollars, and it does not include any major cast or any big names. But the beauty is that the stories are so cute that, we will be able to do a good business with these scripts as well. So this is actually a subject called as Live-in with Lemure. It is a live-in relationship that this young man has with a beautiful devil, and a very nice romantic comedy with a small amount of horror that is built into the script.
Sure.
So yeah, once again, it is actually at 5 million USD. And just keeping in mind that there is Corona that is happening. These set of scripts are also lending to a smaller set of cast and crew that is required. So we will be able to execute them next year successfully, even though the Corona is a pandemic is a situation. So only 4 main roles that we need to target towards. And this is going to be handled by our in-house creative team, with our cinematographer, Mr. Larry Blanford, who has worked with X-Men. That is a big movie that has happened, and also our in-house composer.
Okay,
So I talked with you about the whole storyline around, the true life stories that we have journeyed and brought from around the world. This particular horror movie is called as Hell 14. It is a true story that has happened in a place in the world where a beautiful girl has been put under the spell of black magic, and the struggle of her father and her fiance to bring her back into normalcy. A very gripping storyline is what we have. Once again, this is budgeted at 5 million and will be handled by our in-house creative team. So this is also another very beautiful story. It's a true story of an officer who goes and connects a group of small tribal hamlets in the mountains to the mainline communication system of a country. A very real story where you'll see teamwork, you will see, how a leader actually rises and gets a job done. So this is a very beautiful story once again. A low budget story which is being done at 5 million for Hollywood, and a smaller cast, and being handled by our in-house creative team. One last story that I will discuss before we go into the numbers is this story called as Bhagwat Dwaj. It's actually the story of our Indian heroes, and this project is still being handled, and it's being made. There are a lot of open components in this. There are some big actresses and actors from Hollywood that we are taking to India for this particular film. It's going to be made in English and one of the Indian languages, and these are all of the actors that we have over here for this particular film. The cost of this one is slated for around 202 million US dollars, and is going to include the English version as well as the Indian version for this cost. And a lot of star cast from India, like an Akshay Kumar, or Prabhas, or a lot of them, like Ajay Devgan. Those are some very big names from the Indian industry that are being tagged to the project. Okay, so these are just some confidentiality aspects. So investments in Hollywood, why is that important? Miss Madhu, I think we lost Prince. Okay. Your Highness, are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I'm able to see your screen, although it's on pause, but I can see you still running. Yours is still running. It's like you are sharing a screen sharing. Great. Okay, perfect.
Okay, good. Okay, so we saw all of the films that are in slate for the next few years, and I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the return on investment in Hollywood. So the average return on investment on a mid-sized project is about 120 to 150%. Please note that if we have a studio tie-in like a Disney or Sony or Paramount or Warner Brothers, anyone tagged to our pictures, this will exponentially increase. And these are just keeping in mind that if someone comes in and we just treat this without any studio related piece, the average return is about 120 to 150%. That's the range that we are talking about. So what is it in terms of the deal structure, right? So we are open to conversation is what I would say. You have seen the budgets for all of the films individually. So we can conduct an individual production partnership or a group of films where if you feel that you want to bring in a certain portion of investment, then, we can look at that and start to construct the deal structure for that. But if you come back and say, hey, I like the entire slate of films that you are talking about, then there is a bulk investment that we can talk about, which is the full cost of all of the films put together, about 352 million, which is logged in for a time frame of about 7 years as a fund. And the ROI that we are talking about is 125% on that. Once again, please note that we are in conversations where you can do the full bulk investment or a portion of the investment, or just one film at a time. So whichever is the comfort feeling that we have, we can work the deal structure specific to your needs and depending on how much of investment that you would like to bring to the table. Okay, so just want to pause there. I mean, that is all I have in terms of today. And you have Miss Madhu's detail. So anytime if there is any questions or if you want us to talk to your financial advisors as the next step of conversation, would be really happy to take that forward. So just want to stop there and hear from you, Your Highness.
No problem. Thank you so much for everything. I love it. It's my real pleasure talking to you, and I can't wait to partner with you to give my investment and to you. So thank you so much for your time, and thank you for being available before me. My royal honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So I will share this with Ms. Madhu, who will be in touch with you. I'll provide the recording as well as the presentation to her, so you can take that and talk to your investment advisors. My small request is that since we are talking about commerciality numbers and such, there will be a small NDA that is going to be sent to you that just is for the film business. But the other businesses, either the precious metals or the corona related thing, please think through, and if you would like to have a further conversation, you can always coordinate with Ms. Madhu, and within the next 1 week to 10 days I will work towards arranging a conversation with our prince, so you can speak and exchange ideas and get his thoughts and see how things can be moved forward.
That's perfect with me. Thank you so much. Great.
Ms.
Okay.
Madhu, anything else on your
Absolutely, for your time. And I think you said you've got some questions or you need more information. If you would
Yeah.
want to ask Ms. Papu, this is the right time, I think, so that you can
Okay.
give inputs to your financial analyst.
Sure. Yeah, because my financial analyst or rather my financial controller is also an Indian from New Delhi. So he's currently so far is in New Delhi. We will be joining me, I think, in the next 1 week or so. He will be coming here because I am the deputy president, as you know, for the United House of Monarchs. So I control almost everything in my country because my father, the king, is old. So soon I will take up everything. So we are working hand in hand with the government, also with other American senators who are also giving me the boost because the US people want me to stand for election, for the next election in South Africa. So all the support is coming from the US government because I'm the one working on behalf of the US government, looking after the white people in South Africa and so forth. So otherwise, my other question, which I wanted to find out, is about the bulk investment, which is about 332 million somewhere there. So in case I can say, let me give 300 million over that one, how is it supposed to be? Or how are we going to make it? Not the whole 332, but 300 only. Then
Yeah.
32 will just give me a small briefing on that one.
No issues, Your Highness. Actually, I would say that first of all, it will be an honor to be interfacing with another royal, and all that I will say is that whatever is the investment cap that you have in mind, we can design a specific strategy, and even within 300 million, if that is what you would like to bring to the table, yes, we can work through that. And what I can do is that I can do a much more detailed financial structure once we have the amount at least agreed upon, so we can look at, okay, what is the break, how is the returns going to be repatriated in the time frame that we are looking at. But whatever is the amount, if it is a bulk investment, we will need it to be logged in for a certain time frame, that is just for us to be able to execute the projects correctly and ensure that the returns are passed on, because the film has to be made, it has to be released, and then the money is repatriated back to us. So that is what I would say. Definitely, yes, let's talk through in some more detail, and I will I will send you all of this information. And whatever you would like to do, either in the film front or anything else, we want to have a very long-standing relationship with you. So yes, please, let's have more conversations. And I am available, through Miss Madhu per your availability. I will work my timings around yours. So please, please let me know what is it that I can do to take this forward, and I'd really love to do that.
Okay, perfect. Then I'll keep in touch with you, because as I'm waiting for my financial controller from New Delhi as well. So I'll see how I'm going to analyze everything as well, come up with that amount, because I will be away from home for the next 3 months. I will be somewhere in Brazil as well, where I'll be doing some other businesses. So before I leave the country, at least first come, first serve, let's try to work out on something whereby we can start moving forward while others are still coming up. So I think in the next, just after the new year, let's try to execute this project. Let's try to bring something on the table. Then we agree on some certain condition terms, just like that. So it will be my pleasure. Otherwise, I'll keep in touch with my colleague, and then you will be updated every progress and every movement that we are making. So thank you so much. That's what I wanted to find out on that one.
Sure.
Perfect.
Great. Yeah, thank you. Namaste to you.
Thank you, Prince Zulu. I'll be in touch with you as soon as Ms. Papu sent me the audio clip and the video clip and the presentation. I will forward it to you, and then you can get in touch with me once you speak to your financial analyst, and we can go ahead from there.
No, I think
It.
what we'll do next. Thank you so much, my dear.
Thank you.
No problem. And in advance, have a happy new year, Prince Zulu.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Same with you. Happy Xmas. So let's see what we are going to do together in taking the Hollywood production forward together. So I'll keep in touch with you. I'll give you the update whenever I need to talk to you. I'll ask you to arrange the Zoom meeting. Then we take it from there, because time is now. The earlier, the better. So let's see what we can this coming January, so that at least just the month or the new year begins, we must also begin up with something as well.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Have a good rest of the day. Namaste.
Thank you.
You too. Thanks, Ms. Papu. Thank you, Prince Zulu.